Hey, hey, folks, I'm Chris, and I'm your Commander Mechanic, and welcome to the Spider-Man Commander Roundtable. As always, we are raising donations for a good cause while we are talking the latest Magic the Gathering set, and tonight we're supporting the Trevor Project. If you hit Command Donate in chat and donate in $5 increments, you'll be entered into the draw for prizes at the end of the night, ranging from Infinitokens prize packs to potentially Spider-Man bundles as well. So make sure to support this great cause, and you can benefit from it too. But tonight we will be chatting everything Spider-Man with this fantastic panel of folks. And so without further ado, let me get to our incredible guests tonight. Returning once again to the round table is Kurohitsuki. Kuro, welcome. Why don't you tell everybody who you are, where we can find you, and what is your favorite Spider-Man story arc?
Oh, okay. Well, you can find me at twitch.tv/Kurohitsuki and also just everywhere on the internet under Kurohitsuki because I'm just playing Magic and talking nerd stuff all the time and playing way too much Commander. Just way too much Commander in my life, but also not enough at the same time. And my favorite Spider-Man arc, easily it's Civil War, like specifically original Civil War Spider-Man. I love Iron Spider, favorite costume and everything. Definitely my favorite Spider-Man arc.
Oh, Peter's unmasking, the revealing of his identity.
Yes, that full art page still like iconic, burned into my mind. Yes,
100%, 100%.
Yes.
So thanks, Kuro. Looking forward to having you here. Alan, how about you? Welcome back to the roundtable. I feel like it has been years since you've been on the roundtable, because it actually has been years since you've been on the roundtable at this point, but we're so glad to have you back, my friend. Why don't you tell everybody who you are, where we can find you, and what your favorite Spider-Man story arc is?
Thank you guys so much for having me. This is an absolute treat. You can find me anywhere you can write the words Mental Misplay, or at most Magic events. You can find me running around with a camera, talking to people and asking all the important questions and a lot of the unimportant ones as well. It's next, it's into, you said right into favorite story arc, right? Mm-hmm. Oh man. The cheeky answer is anything with a hologram on the cover is like we're in. But the real answer is Superior Spider-Man. That story, that it just absolutely floored me. A friend of mine put me on it who was super into comic books, and he was like, "This is crazy," and I started reading it, and it seems like it would be so cheesy, and it's just such a cool story. So absolutely love that story arc for sure.
Amazing, great choice. I'm a big fan myself, so excellent. We'll talk our favorite Doc Ock stuff soon too. I'm sure. But new to the roundtable, first time guest Cop, welcome to the show. We're so excited to have you here tonight. Why don't you let everybody know who you are, where we can find you, and what your favorite Spider-Man story arc is?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. Hi, chat. My name's Cop. That's K0PP. If you spell it twice, it should be the first one to pop up. I'm on those socials as that handle, and I'm an MTG commentator, EDH host, personality. I've done panel work too, and I'm also a cosplayer. This whole set, Spider-Man, has been one of the things I've cosplayed for a very long time, and so once the set got announced, I was like, all right, I guess we're just gonna like lean into it, and here we are, as chat says, committing to the bit. So. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. And Alan took mine. My favorite Spider-Man arc is Superior Spider-Man is like an absolutely beautiful arc because what it gives you is the opposite side of the narrative that you never get, which is one that we're talking about redemption. We're talking about the villain's journey to a hero. Like, I feel like we know so much about the hero's journey to villain, but we never get the opposite. And to watch Doc Ock go through that struggle and that journey while we learn things new at the same time that he's learning them is like stunning, absolutely stunning to me. So yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, big fan. I think one of the greatest all-time storylines for sure. And it doesn't even star Peter Parker. I mean, Big shock, right? So thanks, Cop. we're super excited to have you here. Super excited to talk the set. Thank you for the commitment to the bit as well. I'm sure my next question will know your answer to as well. But before we get there, I want to welcome my partner, as always, for the roundtables. It's none other than Claybee. Clay, welcome back once again. Why don't you let everybody know who you are, where we can find you, and what your favorite Spider-Man story arc is?
Yeah, hi friends. I'm Claybee. I'm the visible member of the C&C Power Hour when we do these roundtables. You can find me anywhere online if you search Claybee, and if you see the bee, that's me. And my favorite Spider-Man arcs. So I don't have a ton of comic book knowledge. One comic arc that I really like is Planet of the Symbiotes. The kind of the expansion of, like, I always thought Venom was cool, but then the idea of there's kind of like there's so many spiders, right? There's so many symbiotes. Like, I thought that was really cool. But like non-comic, the Into the Spider-Verse just kind of blew my mind. I love that movie. I love that arc, that story. So
amazing.
Nice.
Well, Claybee, always a pleasure to have you with us with these roundtables. Looking forward to getting into it. I will echo a lot of folks. Superior Spider-Man is one of my favorite all-time arcs. But if we're going classics, I love the Clone Saga too. Clone Saga is so peak 90s from a story arc to it. It is just it's dripping with the peak 90s comics to it. I absolutely love it. And if you're keeping up with modern Spider-Man storylines as well, they keep weaving the clones into regular storylines too.
Really?
So Ben Reilly is back in the current storyline in Spider-Man as well. We're about to see Kane anytime now, I'm sure. So I absolutely love it. And I love how something that was released over 30 years ago at this point can keep coming back and keep having ripples. It's not one of those storylines that's buried forever. And we get to see a good part of it in the set too, which like obviously absolutely love. But I want to do a quick little round the table as well. We talked favorite Spider-Man arcs, but how about favorite Spider-Man suits? Spidey's had a ton of suits, but do you have a favorite look for the wall crawler? Clay, we'll start with you. Do you have a favorite suit on Spidey?
yes, so I just talked about the Spider-Verse, the Miles Morales, the classic black red is, and then the Gwen Stacy, the white with the pink and the blue is just like, I know those aren't the classic like actually Spider-Man like in the traditional suits, but those two are just visually my favorites.
Amazing. Yeah, great vibrant suits, especially as newer characters that are introduced to, a way to carry over the spider theming, but do it in a way that's much different than anything that we've ever seen Peter in, which is super cool. Cop, how about you? Favorite Spider-Man suit?
I think it's probably the one that I'm wearing. I love Tom's suits throughout most of the current MCU iteration, but specifically the Far From Home suit, the black and red is just always so striking. But like, it's the first time that he gets to build the suit, and it's not given to him. So that moment in the tulips and on the plane with Happy, where it's like, okay, you don't have your tech, like, what do you do? And we get to actually see him build something that he wants to build. That's why I fell in love with the suit. It's like the design is great, but also like what the design represents really hit home for me.
Yeah, fantastic. I like it because it took us several movies to see Peter create his own suit that wasn't just the hoodie, right? Where in previous versions of Spider-Man, we saw in the first movie, he's like not only a genius scientist, but also a costume designer in his part-time too, and just manages to be a seamstress as well. So.
Sewing spandex is hard, okay? Sewing spandex is really hard, Peter.
Well, maybe that's part of his superpowers. Maybe along with web slinging, he can sew spandex.
Yeah, he weaves the suit. Yeah,
exactly.
There it is.
Yeah,
exactly. Kuro, how about you? Favorite Spider-Man suit?
Iron Spider, hands down. Just no arguments, nothing even comes close, like at all. It is just straight up Iron Spider, original Civil War, and sometimes there'll be variants where he has like 3 legs, 3 extra like legs, or 4, and like I'll flip between, but like it's just Iron Spider, 100%. Yeah,
I do love the red and
God.
gold look. It
Yeah.
is super sharp for
Mhm.
sure.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Alan, how about you? Favorite suit?
I had to ask Kuro, did you like
You're muted, my friend.
I hear you just.
Oh, there we go. I
Okay.
lost him.
Sorry about that. Kuro, did you like absolutely jump out of your seat and have a chicken jockey moment when you saw the Iron Spider suit in the theater?
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. I was just like, oh, thank God they have that. I can't wait to see how like real they go with it, and they kind of did.
No, like so gonna be a lot of friction moments tonight for sure. But when this Iron Spider shoot catches up with him, insanity. Anyway,
Loved it.
It's hard for me. Like, I looked at the question, you front loaded this, and I looked at it, and the first thing I thought of was like, it stuck with me for, this is 30 years now. When I was a kid, I used to read Toy Fair and Wizard magazine. I just religiously, I loved those two, and they would rip on everything. And when Spider-Man 2099 debuted, they made fun of his. They made fun of the ankle pouches, and they asked if they were like, what does he do with those? He carry fruit roll-ups in there? And I've never, ever been able to see Spider-Man 2099 without thinking of those stupid ankle pouches and him carrying fruit roll-ups in them. So that's like the immediate, like, that's burned in my brain. But I was thinking about it a lot more. Like, it's hard to be mad at just like the classic McFarlane symbiote suit, but the flip side of that is the white Future Foundation suit. Yes, so good.
Ooh, yeah.
100%. 100%. Future Foundation suit, my favorite intentional suit from Peter.
Right.
But I love whenever he has to do a makeshift suit.
Yep.
Whenever he's got to do like a bombastic bag man, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or when he's got to just like wear webbing too. There's the story arc with Silk where he gets caught without his suit and just has to like web himself up, which I think is just like great. If you saw a dude wearing nothing but spider webs swinging through the street, you would panic. Absolutely panic.
Yeah.
But like those are my favorite. I love when he is like caught unprepared and he has to improvise. Great. Absolutely great. Love it. So Peter's had tons of suits. I have his Fear Itself suit up here as well, which is another great one. I like the really like sleek minimalistic stuff on him too. But we get to see all of those suits in the set with all of the variants in the set, especially all of the special versions of the Peter Spider-Man card itself with all the different costumes on it. We get to see a lot of these costumes. We get to see them in print, which I think is super cool.
Nice.
Super cool for us to get a real homage to the comics in the set. And there were many, of course. This is very much inspired by the set. So I want to know, what are your overall thoughts on the set? We'll get into some of the nitty gritty in a moment, but I want to know high level, overall, as comic fans, as Magic fans, as fans of just the character in general. What are your high level thoughts on the set? Alan, why don't we start with you?
I mean, big tent thought. So I'm thrilled to see this kind of start to fall into place. And I know that just like everything Marvel has been doing, this is like a very small piece of a bigger thing that's happening, which is like a little tiresome, but also like exciting to know there's more and to see the hints that we get from it. The one Infinity Stone, Mark Rosewater saying, oh, I designed a Marvel set that's coming out of nowhere. Man says this, right? So to know that there's like more on the way is cool. I was looking at a lot of it today, and seeing the cards separated out and seeing all of the art styles together made it feel more cohesive. Seeing a pile of Spider-Man Magic cards together, it looks like Magic the Gathering art, even though there's spider stuff coming into it. So I really do like that they, even though they got Spider-Mans all over them, they look like Magic art.
Yeah, fantastic. Cop, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think as the set was rolling out, I was very much like, oh yes, oh no, oh yes, oh no. I kept going back and forth on it, right? Like it felt like a little bit of a roller coaster. But now that I've sat down with it and I've gone through everything, and for me, I really dive into, I love the design portions of a set and how the design relates to the thing that we're creating and telling the story of. And so when I really sat down and looked at how are the mechanics designed, how are the colors woven into the representation of the characters and the world, that to me was like, oh, this is really cool. And also, like, selfishly, I'm a New Yorker. Like, to see the subway train have a color identity changes the definition of the thing that I interact with every day, which is kind of profound, right? Like, when fantasy jams into my reality like this, I think the set's pretty cool.
Yeah. Not to mention all of those pigeons that now have color identities too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Alan, you had something in response.
No, that was hit by accident. My bad.
All good. Kuro, how about your thoughts?
So I don't like it. And it's not due to like Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man enough. I'm not the super big mega fan, but like Spider-Man has been part of my Marvel comic reading for years and years. So I like Spider-Man. And I very much like Into the Spider-Verse, and I'm glad that there was a nail down on that. I think my biggest gripe starts and ends with the fact that it's only 193 cards, which means that for the things that I like about Magic sets, the thing that I like about mechanics and characters interacting and intertwining, we don't get to explore that as much as we usually do for a full-on set because it's only 193 cards. If you look at standard sets for the past years, they're all around 300 new cards, right? Like just within like just either just the set itself, then you have like commander stuff on the side. But this is like over 100 cards less than normal. So so when you look at the mechanics that we have access to, I think web slinging is awesome. We'll get into those things later, but to balance the cards that have mechanics and don't have mechanics, you kind of have to like only 20% of cards can have this mechanic. Well, 20% of 300, that still feels good. It feels like we're really working with something and you get to explore a lot. 20% of less than 200 cards, I mean, there's only 13 cards with web sling, right? So it's hard to get into that like vibe of just like, okay, like we're on a world with spider people, they have a combined mechanic, they're all doing this thing, let's see how each of them do it differently. We don't get that. And for me, in terms of like what I like about Magic sets, we are missing that due to the lack of the amount of cards that there are. So honestly, I do not like the set, but it's due to it not feeling like a full set more than anything else.
And I think that that's a fantastic point. We'll talk a little bit more about the set sizes in a moment, but some of the concerns and complaints that people have about visiting a plane at a time and getting a new mechanic, getting one set dedicated to that mechanic and then never seeing that mechanic again or having to wait 5 or 6 years to see it again is very exaggerated in this because you don't even get a full set's worth of exploration of that mechanic or those cards. So I think very fair point on that. Alan, your thoughts?
Kuro, do you think that opening up, do you think you will feel the mechanic open up more with the further inclusion of more Marvel sets? Like with the idea that there's 4 more Marvel sets on the way, like there's no guarantee that we're going to see more like web swinging in the X-Men set or whatever, but like right, like, but is it going to further flesh out the Magic Marvel world?
So for
in a way that like satiates you. Sorry.
Yeah. Villains as a mechanic, like as a typal mechanic, villains, their first introduction here is bad. I think that they have nothing. They literally have no connective tissue other than being a type. And sometimes someone says, "Oh, you're a villain, get +2/+2." That's it, right? But villains will literally be in every Marvel set from now on, so that's worth it. I have like no true issue with villainy because I know that we'll have more later. That part's fine. Spiders, though, no, we won't, right? Like this is the Spider-Man set. This is your set for web slinging. If I see web slinging in my X-Men set, I will be mad that you wasted an X-Men card for web slinging. Like, why do not do that to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, an Avengers set, because everyone's been an Avenger at some point, we'll get a new Spider-Man with some new web sling. Okay, fine, right? But like, because this is the Spider-Man set, the multiverse set, Miles, all of them. This is the time to do it. This is the time to thwap out. And that mechanic in and of itself doesn't really do anything different between the colors. There's no color exploration of web slinging as a mechanic because it's just a reduced cost. You just do the thing. It's like, okay, cool. Other than the blue counter spell, literally other than that, there's no exploration color wise. And we won't see that going forward because this is the Spider-Man set. That's why there's no hero mechanic, right? Like, if you started introducing a hero mechanic now, we'll see more of that later. We don't really need to dive into that now. Focus on the spider part. Well, what does the spider part have? Character art? It's got character art.
Yeah.
And that's it. So
Fair points.
To answer your question, Alan, I maybe we'll get more mayhem in the future, and I think that that'll be cute for the future. So on the villainy half, because it is a mechanical word that will continue. The hero side, no.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Fantastic. No, great points. Great points. Clay, your overall thoughts on the set?
I think it's cool. Interestingly enough, I hadn't realized the set was so much smaller until Kuro mentioned it, because I think I got confused by how many art printings, and then there's like the 3 different like small, so it's like kind of all together combined to be like 300-ish cards, whatever. So I hadn't thought about it. But I think it can be cool. And I am curious if the trade-off for like spiders is that's an established magic type in of itself. And so, like, to steal a joke from my brother who's in the chat, he was joking about building a Spider-Man commander deck that was spiders and men. Like that, like there wasn't any like spider men. It was just spiders, men. And so I don't know if that plays into it. It'll be interesting to see how like the future Marvel sets tie with it. And then the hero mechanic is interesting too, because like Marvel, but also Final Fantasy had some cards that like cared about heroes, right? And so then like, what does that look like in the future is something that I'll be really curious to see, is like how they design around that. If we keep going Universes Beyond, do you have a 5-color heroes deck that like pulls legends from all of the different Universe Beyond sets? Like, I think that'd be really cool, but also potentially very tilting for people depending on whatever. It'll be interesting to see how they balance those so it doesn't get too out of hand.
Oh, and I think a lot of great points. I think visually, I love this set. Being able to have a lot of the arts and the callbacks that are ripped straight out of comics tickles me so well here. It doesn't feel like a cohesive Magic set. I'm with a lot of folks here. How can you call back to decades and decades of history for these characters in one set? How do you represent the definitive form of the Green Goblin? How do you represent the definitive Rhino on a card? The fact that some of these massive characters that have persisted for decades get a single uncommon in the set and nothing else, I feel like it does not do justice to a lot of the legacy that we see here, especially from a property where every single character in this property is somebody's favorite. And to
Mhm.
have your favorite represented is cool. To have it be a throwaway piece of draft chaff is not cool. I would like to see some more exploration. I would love to see more of this. I would have loved to have seen this be a larger scale set where we could get potentially an uncommon and rare version of each of these characters, much like we saw in Edge of Eternities, where the main set characters got uncommon and rare or mythic versions of themselves. Alan, your thoughts?
Everything just clicked with the small set and not having full character story out because that's how I felt about AFR AFR for sure, because I can point over there, I got 40 Drizzt Do'Urden books chilling on my wall and they got 2-3 cards and like a couple other companions of the hall cards and not even close to the rest of them, and that's there's 30-40 years of lore behind this character, and it's the same. And like, sure, Drizzt was like a face card of the set, right? But Brunor is like a signpost draft card. And he's like this, there he is, right? And I felt like, oh man, like they could have explored just that story. But again, AFR was a big set, right? And they had a million people's favorite characters to jam in there, but it has the same kind of feel, if that makes sense.
Yeah, very fair. Again, I think it's 1-to-1 on this. Somebody's favorite character that's been around for decades, and they get a single throwaway uncommon on them. It really doesn't do these justice. Cop, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that is also one of the things that sort of, as the set became revealed, people started to ask themselves, why does it feel weird? Why do I not feel excited by this? I can't identify that feeling yet. But over time, I did some numbers today before the panel, because I was like, I need to know what, like, Aftermath was 50 cards, Assassin's Creed 100 cards. This is a 193, and what did you say, Kuro? It's like 300 or
300 normal standard set, yeah.
Right, and so like I think the sheer number there, the math is, one, it feels less, and two, now we know that like some cards were not a part of the original design. And when I look at this set, I can immediately tell you 30 to 40 cards that were likely not in the original design, because they feel that vanilla or that uncommon, like, and it is unfortunate because like some of these characters are tried and true and we love them. And so even some of the villains we love, right? I think the thing for me about that feeling of not being able to represent all of the lore and the legend and the story, what I liked about Final Fantasy was that it was so true to the nods of the story and the characters and the jokes and the ends.
Mm-hmm.
Those stories have definitive beginning, middle, and ends.
Right.
They are defined books, or whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
D&D, comic books, these things are ever going, ongoing. They will never stop going. How on earth do we pinpoint that down into a set is the thing that I like constantly go back to as a theater person, as a storyteller. It's a big question that I ask myself. And I do feel that like some of those things are spot on. The Spot is a wonderfully designed card that is so true to the character, in my opinion. And then I look at this uncommon Scorpion and I'm like, they did you wrong, my guy.
Yeah.
That is wrong.
Right.
But here we are. So I just wanted to toss that in there.
100% agreed. You look at cards like the Spot or Mr. Negative or Electro's card, and you say, great, these are phenomenal. And then we get some other members of the Sinister Six, like Scorpion, like Rhino, like any of these characters, and they got done dirty. And then you have characters like Doc Ock who have 3 iterations
Yeah.
across these cards too. So it really does feel weird. And like we've all said, it feels weird because this was first supposed to be an Aftermath or Assassin's Creed size set. And at the last minute was pumped up to what is not even a full size set, what is a 2/3 size set. So very clearly they had to fill some gaps and fill some spaces. And Cop, I think very accurately you said, you can tell what was added in here. You can tell what the additional cards were just by reading them, just by glancing through them. So I think that is very, very certain here. Now, because this was intended to be an Aftermath or Assassin's Creed size set, do you think that the performance of those sets is what affected the design of this set? Because Aftermath or Assassin's Creed, quote unquote, failed from Wizards' End, we couldn't get an Aftermath or Assassin's Creed size Spider-Man set. Kuro, your thoughts?
Without a doubt, without a doubt, the other failure of Aftermath, because we got to think about how far ahead that they were planning on Aftermath and planning on Aftermath working, right? Like leading up to Aftermath, they're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do for the next year, the year after, and the year after, and the year after, and we're making deals with this company and that X company to have a set, and it's gonna be this size, and everyone's gonna love it. And then Aftermath bombed, as it should, and then they're like, okay, like we can't do that. Like we cannot do this. This is not a product line that we can do. Especially if you think about like what this set specifically would have been if it was the Aftermath number of cards. So like it goes from 193 to 52, 54 cards. So take the top 54 cards and that's what would have been this whole set. Like no. And then Assassin's Creed, it's like, well, that was like modern Commander, right? But that's still just kind of like throwaway on the side. Now that they're trying to really inject the Marvel Universe this way, they had to increase it from the Assassin's Creed size to be at least draftable and in standard. So you got to have even more scrutiny on the cards that are in there. And I just don't think that they were able to add enough to make a lot of these cards matter. As Steven said, it's like, I think we're only going to remember a couple cards from this set, both standard and Commander and so on wise. The rest feel very throwaway.
Yeah, totally agreed. Alan, your thoughts?
It's so tough because you've got these throwaway cards, but like I think of Aftermath and I think of like I don't want to spend money on it, right? But it's full of bangers. like there's front to back Aftermath's full of gas. So like yes, we don't like Aftermath, but I would have rather seen 54 banging Spider-Man cards than 54 possibly good Spider-Man cards and a bunch of gobbledygook that I'm like,
yeah,
that I'm like, I guess I could read this card. So like I think I'd rather it be super focused, tight down like that. But how do you that's not for us to figure out. Like we want this whole going into this roundtable, the whole time in my head, I've been telling myself, I don't want to go into this and think they should have done this about every single aspect of the set. Like,
oh yeah.
But it's so hard not to be in that mindset about it because for 30 years I've had the Cosmic Spider-Man Marvel Series 1 hologram burned into my brain as the coolest thing that could possibly exist. So like for them to not have that same effect is always going to be like they should have done it different, So it's like comparing it size-wise to Aftermath and stuff like that is tough, because sets used to be small too, and they used to slap. Right. They used to have all the flavor in it. I'm going full boomer on everybody here. In my day, our 4/4s for Trample were a Cradle Guard, and they had fucking Echo. All right,
yeah,
and they had 190 card sets on the regular, and they had so much flavor in them. So I think that it's like over, like yeah, it's hard to not view this whole set through like I'm being oversaturated, you know? Like if when the Transformers cards came out and I was like, these have two sides, I'm not reading that. That's how it felt. Like, I want to love Spider-Man, and I want a Soul Stone, and I want all these shits. I want shiny cards. I want serialized everything. But like, it's tough to be excited about, especially knowing that it's like this weird supplemental thing they're giving like the first one's free kind of feel on Marvel. And like it's so yeah, I have a lot of feelings about this, and it's been tough to toe this line of like I'm gonna be positive about things and not be like I think they should have blah blah blah, you know.
It's perfectly valid not to love everything.
Yeah,
keep that in mind. Kuro, you wanted to add on?
I agree with. I remember like large set, small set, large set, small set, and like that's sort of like even within the design of sets that used to mean a lot too. I go back to like my favorite block of like Scars of Mirrodin block, where it's like large set, small set, and it's like small set. What happened to all of the Mirrors, right? It's like even that had a narrative. Just the size of the set, but that was a whole block, right? The small sets were attached to a full world that we just explored or are about to explore or are in the middle of exploring.
Like Aftermath.
Like Aftermath, right? But like Aftermath, yeah, exactly. But it was never that.
No, that was very they made the hole a little too tight on that one.
It was never quite that small, but even then, yeah, it's like there was a bit more of a narrative to go on with that small set structure that just like modern day Magic just doesn't do anymore.
My head says like Marvel set, character set, Marvel set, and that's how you make your Marvel block. Yeah.
Cop, you wanted to add on?
I agree with not to go full boomer as well, but like the block format would have done this so well and done this so much justice because we would have gotten exactly what that was, which is big set, introductory set, world set, whether that's Avengers or however you want to do it, into like small set, and a whole other panel exists where we talk about the entire bringing the block system back because I'm a firm believer that Brothers War, All Will Be One, and March of the Machine should have been a frickin' block, and we didn't do it. But let's not go there, right? I do think that like it's hard to have the set be so small and the want to be so strong for so many cards and so many variations of cards, and for it to also be difficult to obtain them and when will I get them and how, and also like man, some of them are not great either, and there's a lot of conflicted feelings inside of all of it, but what I keep going back to that I do love, because I like to focus on the things that I do love and that I do get, is like I think the design of web swinging I think is beautiful. When a card game mechanic mirrors the physical action of something, like when I first played web swinging and I did this, I was like, oh, I'm physically web swinging as a movement that is represented in a card game. That to me transcends the unfortunate uncommon Scorpion. You know, right. I'll take that love and joy and put the other thing in this little basket. That's like unfortunate basket, but that's all right. Yeah.
Fantastic. Clay, your thoughts? Do you think the performance of the smaller sets that we've seen previously have led to the fact that we can't have a smaller Spider-Man set?
Yeah, I'm just co-signing everything that was said. Kuro, I had that thought about the block format helping with that. And I think that the other part is that since we haven't had blocks, there is kind of a shock to the system after getting sets like Final Fantasy and Lord of the Rings and the last big franchises that we've done Universes Beyond for with games such as Assassin's Creed. And learned the lesson. We're gonna give you standard decks, 400 the humongous. So then versus in the block experience, you definitely fix it. So like that felt more normal. But now that like we've had these huge like kind of explorations of the material, the IP, basically getting the small version like creates like a system shock that maybe wouldn't be as severe if we hadn't just had like Final Fantasy. I swear every time I like look at the set on Strifefall, more cards have been added. And I've been looking at it for months, and I still just keep finding cards in there. I think that they're just adding to the file as they're.
Logan's in there.
Yeah.
Sneaking cards in.
Oh, Marrow's in there designing cards.
Yeah.
In the file this late in design.
We need to make it wackier.
Morrow just literally like slips a card under Logan's door and it's just like, I gotta add this.
More whimsy.
Kuro, your thoughts?
Just as we were all talking, I think I actually super agree on that. Back when this was like probably going to be 54 cards or maybe like 100 cards, I think that each individual character would have been more special. We would have had like more of an exploration of the web sling mechanic per character throughout different colors. That would have been more succinct. Having to make it draftable lowers the power level of a lot of things. If we did have Commander product, I think it would have just been the original versions of all of those cards in the Commander deck, right? So like the Spider-Man Commander deck would have just been all of the characters you see right now, but with the web sling ability that like, a blue one that says when you pull something back, ETB bounce something out or bounce two things out or something like that. Like it would have been a full exploration. I think if there was a Commander deck, they would have just taken that whole design and just tossed it here.
Yeah.
But then they would have had commissioned all new art, which they just probably couldn't do. So I think that there's probably a file somewhere of like what this set would have been.
Yeah, and I think that that's entirely fair too. I hate to put on my corpo hat on camera like this, but this is a partnership between Hasbro and Disney Marvel.
Right.
So there are definitely mandates behind the scenes of how much can we milk this, right? How much can Hasbro push this? How much is Disney Marvel willing to give up on this? So there are likely negotiations behind closed doors that we as franchise players may
100%.
not be privy to and
100%.
may not agree with, but in the end have no say in that as well. Especially the last minute decision to make this a draftable format. The pick two format for this, the 4-player draft format that they've introduced to this is made specifically so that they can make a smaller set like this draftable. And of course, there's reasons behind that as well. They want to make this in print longer. This isn't a full-size set like in the block format, where normally the first set of a block is always a big set, so you can draft 3 times that set. And then as they introduce smaller sets, you draft 2 times the big set, 1 small set, right? And then the eventual block is 1 of each. We don't have that here, so they have to make some kind of draftable format for a smaller set like this, hence the pick 2. Are we interested in the pick 2 format? Are we looking forward to potentially playing this? Or is this something that is just a big ol' yuck from concept standpoint? Alan, what do you think?
I still haven't gotten a straight answer on whether pick 2 is a 4-player format. Do you draft to go into 2 head-to-head games, or are you drafting pick 2 to play a free-for-all game?
As far as I'm aware from it, I don't think a lot of people have seen full details on the format, but it is a 4-player pick 2 format where you do individual one-on-one games. It is not a multiplayer format. It is not like a draftable Commander format.
I am less interested in 1v1 formats.
I am no longer interested in 2v2 pack 2 draft.
I like the idea of like Wizards trying to find a way to get Commander players to rip packs and play with them, right? So like a pick 2 4-top format is crack to me. That's the coolest thing ever. A pick 2 and now me and you and you are no, fuck that.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm with you.
sorry.
Stop.
I'm sure it's amazing. I love it.
I work on LGS, and I will tell you that nobody at my LGS is very interested in this two-player format at all. Like they're like, oh, we don't have 6 to fire. We're out. We're gonna go home. Bye. Because limited players want a fully limited experience, and Commander players want a shared experience. And the pick 2 draft is right in between, which means it doesn't work for either party. Like
There's neither.
it's like it literally. If you wanted to make it work, right, you would two-headed giant the 4-person draft, and then Commander players are like, I'm all in on that because our two-headed giant pre-release does very well. But like literally, the idea of it sandwiches right in between 2 audiences that don't work for it, and I think that's a big look at what the audience wants, the player type wants, and lean into either direction. But when we meet in the middle, nobody wins.
Yeah. Yeah, they completely missed the dartboard on that one entirely. They were throwing ideas at it and threw the dart out the window on this one. Clay, what do you think about the pick 2 format? As a big limited fan, what do you think?
Big limited fans is what. No, I'm just kidding. This is really my first like exposure to the idea. Like I saw that it was announced, but I hadn't looked deeper into it. But I like Cowcop's idea of that, like the two-headed giant pick 2 kind of deal, like making something out of that. But I also remember like the Commander drafts, the like bullet, like the taking 2 cards and stuff. Like that can be a cool experience. And I don't know if the idea is not necessarily for the LGS established group, as opposed to like I think about like the C&C group before we, were streaming and we were playing Magic at their house. Getting 8 people there to do that kind of limited experience is really difficult. So maybe it's like they did a survey and the average Magic player has 3 friends that play Magic. Like, maybe that was the idea. I don't know if it's a good one, but I could see that being the justification behind it, right? Versus like we're not trying to hit the 8-person pods that regularly fire because we have an established scene in and out, like at a place, but it's the kitchen table players that they're always talking about, like there's millions of people who play who have no idea what's going on and they're not established. Like maybe that's what they're going for, I guess. Would be my.
Well, it would definitely make sense for them to try and push an at-home draft format, as we know Wizards have been making a lot of choices to target users that are outside of the LGS as well. So a kitchen table draft format is something that they would absolutely want to push. Kuro, your thoughts on the pick 2?
I am a terrible drafter. So I typically stay away from limited. However, specifically being able to take 2 cards from a pack relieves a lot of pressure from me, specifically being a bad drafter, because I'll be like, oh, the card I like want in my heart and soul, and then I don't know, probably this like on color card that's the right pick. So I actually like the concept of that, of being able to take 2.
Take the money card and the good card.
Exactly.
You gotta get your money back.
I get my foil Tarmogoyf and my lightning bolt.
Yeah. How is this a bad format? What are we talking about here?
Yeah. So
I $25. I gotta get my money back.
So it's probably it's probably perfect for me, and I get it's definitely like for people who are at home who are Commander players. If you can find 4 people to play Commander, well, you can also find 4 people to draft with. So now you have the ability to do that. That's great, and I hope that works for them. My biggest fear is I trust Wizards design team implicitly, 100%, right? I trust their design team. If they're saying that you can fold the pack of Magic cards inward on itself so that it's good when you only pick 1 card with 8 people, Or when you pick 2 cards of 4 people, if they can origami magic packs like that, I believe them. Awesome. And full steam ahead. I super hope that works. I don't know if this set in particular, due to the external factors of, again, 193 cards, how many copies of the same card are you going to end up pulling within the pack, et cetera, et cetera. I wonder how that will affect things, but I think it really just all comes down to this set wasn't supposed to be draftable in the first place.
Yeah,
like the modus operandi for the first 3 to 2 years of the inception of this set was not to be draftable until the backlash from Aftermath. So it's like, I would not judge this set or like the success of the pick 2 draft based off of this set. I'll do that for like the full-on standard sets, but for this one, it's a mulligan as far as I'm concerned.
Fair. Alan.
It just clicked also. It's the same problem of like, yeah, if you have 4 people, they're gonna want to play the thing that they've been sitting home all week, like tuning, right? Like it's the same as when I show up and inevitably be like, who wants to draft the cube? And people are like, no, I want to play the deck that I've been at home tinkering with for 2 weeks, and now I'm finally outside. I don't want to play your thing. I want to play my thing. So I think that's where you risk running into issues with it, unless you get the people who are like showing up, who are like, we're gonna play Spider-Man, you know. Pictures of Spider-Man.
I need packs of Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. That guy's they're gonna play pick 2, but like your commander player is gonna be like, I want to play commander, and
yeah, totally fair, totally fair. Before we move on to our next topic, folks, I want to remind everybody out there in chat that you've got a chance to win prizes at the end of tonight's stream. Do go and hit command donate in chat and donate in $5 increments to support the Trevor Project tonight. And at the end of tonight's session, we'll be doing a draw for an Infinite Tokens prize pack. And at this point, since we're almost at our goal, or more than halfway to our goal, we'll be giving away a Spider-Man gift set as well. Spider-Man bundle as well. So do get out there and donate. And we'll do a draw. We'll also be doing a Q&A at the end of tonight's session, as we always do. So redeem the chat point redemption ask question to highlight your question and get it in for our panel before the end of tonight's session. So we'll get into some individual card discussions now, folks. We've talked the overall set. We've talked the format. How does this set, or the cards that are being printed for this set, look for some of your favorite formats? How do they look for Commander? Are they looking good for Standard or Modern? Since this is the first Universes Beyond set that is Standard legal as well. How do you think that this is looking?
No, Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy Standard legal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, Vivi, right. Of
right.
course. Yeah, of course.
Just VV standard, actually. Everything else.
No.
Yeah.
The rest of the set is in
Final
standard
Fantasy set.
Yeah.
The whole Final Fantasy set has been banned because of Vivi.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Ruined it for everyone.
Yeah.
But Kuro, your thoughts on the cards in the set? Good for which formats? What are you looking forward to?
The more we've talked about it, the more I'm thoroughly convinced that there are just 54 real cards. And the rest were just, so I'm trying to think of like the upper echelon of like the 54 cards. The web sling mechanic is going to be carried on into the future, and people will remember it thanks to Peter Parker, Spider-Man. And because on the backside, he just says, give all legendary creatures web sling, which I think, personally, is awful. I think that doesn't explore a mechanic well at all. Because I like cards that give things. Like, I like commanders that give abilities to things. I think that is a good way to explore mechanics. But I think web slinging as an ability, as basic as it is, which is just a cheaper casting cost, the fact that the only reason you're going to remember it is because of this commander that just says forget it, hey, everyone gets it, whatever, is like a little unfortunate. Like I think that's like actually kind of sad. Mayhem, on the other hand, with Osborne, is great. I think that is a wonderful commander that gives this ability to just every card, because it actually is an ability that gives you a mind palace to work with, more so than just like a here's a cheaper cost, go nuts. So for those two pillars of like being able to explore one mechanic forever in a good way, I love it for Mayhem. For web sling, I think it's awful. And the rest of the cards in the set, I don't think, beyond liking those characters, I don't think I appreciate any of them. But beyond liking Miles Morales and just liking the concept of Naya Beatdown, I don't think there's much of a reason to play him. Quite frankly, I don't think you're doing anything new whatsoever. Because of what's written on the card, because the mechanics they've given these cards are very basic. But carry that on. Yeah.
Totally fair. Kopkov, your thoughts?
This is why Kuro and I work so much together. It's because we are so wonderfully opposite. I hate Mayhem as a mechanic. I think it's actually really boring because we already have Madness, we already have discard mechanics, and we already have cast from the graveyard mechanics, and we just shove the two of them together. But to me, it is wild that no villain, connive I think is fine. Conniving as a villain makes perfect sense. But it's wild to me that there's no mechanic that envelops plotting or committing a crime. Why on God's green earth are we not committing a crime? You know, like it's, and then also to add on to that, why isn't that as my Bant web swinging ability or something involves maybe stopping the crime? If you successfully counter a spell or stop a crime, do a thing, because you're like, that is the sort of like conversation that I wish I was having in the set. Now, that being said, I have built the Peter Parker Bant web swing thing. It's ridiculous. It immediately broke itself. Like immediately. I sneezed and I broke it.
Elgin. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Excuse me.
I broke intruder alarm, everyone. I'm so sorry. But I think that like Arachne is really cool. I think people really enjoy the Spider-Punk design space where it gets Riot. I think Riot on Spider-Punk is like pretty smart and clever and gives me that sort of like ha-ha nod that Final Fantasy gave me. And then I know we've talked about it. There's also the Spider-Woman stunning something. She's the blue-white who everything comes into play tapped. Spider-Woman stunning. Stunning Savior. There she is. I think that's also a really great card. To me, it feels like cEDH is getting a lot of like niche little tools that they can tweak around with, right? Which is wild. Yeah. I think Commander is like, it seems to me the set works better for newer Commander players because those Naya Stompy things are so generic that it's easier for them to get picked up and learned how to use than it is for the seasoned player to look at it and go like, Naya Stompy. That's boring.
and you have to think that,
I agree, it is. It's boring. Like Miles is boring, but that's
but you have to think that that's intentional as well. This is a set that's going to get a lot of new people buying their first Magic cards for their favorite characters, and very clearly all of these characters have some kind of archetype that's outlined for them on the card.
I think that's part of my issue. Because, like, especially as a Vorthos Commander player, too, it's like, I'm all about getting to represent this Magic's rendition of this character on the board. Optimus Prime, Megatron, literally perfect renditions for Magic the Gathering, right? Like what a wonderful one-to-one. But, like, I don't know if it's like my not necessarily knowing Miles Morales enough, right? But like that's why I say, like, other than just liking Miles Morales, and like people will play Miles Morales and they'll get into Naya Stompy and they'll be like, okay, cool, that's fun, but you aren't getting something unique within Magic that is unto you as a player. Optimus Prime is very unique, right? If you like Optimus Prime, you will find no one else like him, right? And that is going to be your deck. Same with Megatron. Same with insert every Sauron here, every Saruman. Oh my God, right? Y'shtola, and like exact, right? Like there was no one else like them. Gwen Stacy, Ghost Spider. I don't know what makes her feel like an impulse draw commander as a character. Like that's just, I just don't know Gwen enough to get that vibe. But like, not only does any impulse draw commander just do something more interesting than she does. She doesn't do it even remotely interestingly, but she doesn't even incentivize you to build an interesting impulse draw deck. She just says like impulse draw, I get a counter, and I'll swing at you bigger, I guess. But like, you know, there wasn't something unique where it's just like, oh, like Gwen Stacy is even unblockable, right? Like even getting unblockable, so you're like, okay, I will do impulse draw, I will learn that mechanic, and my commander, who was my favorite, will be the reason I won the game. And that's like what will carry you forward. But that's not what Gwen Stacy does at all.
Fair. Alan, your thoughts?
I had something to like piggyback on top of Kuro, and then I read Gwen Stacy, and it just like zoom. Gone. It's like, oh, Gwen Stacy just gone. But as far as standouts, so I've started really looking at sets in a weird way, and it came from the impetus of the cube, and the person who inspired it had a cube that sets would come out, and we'd be like, what new card from the set's going in the cube? Like, what's the heater? And there was it might have been Conspiracy 2. I don't even know. It was one of the Innistrad Eldritch ones. It was Eldritch Moon or one of those. And we were like, what's going in? And he was like, there's nothing good enough. And we were like, what? And like, we couldn't comprehend this, right? So that's kind of a big metric that I look through sets for, like whether it's, and you know, a lot of times it is a matter of like seeing what the buzz cards are and stuff like that. And I love a card that becomes a chase card that I can then, you know, the dopamine get is really important, right? So like I want a shiny Infinity Stone of some capacity, but who knows if that's going to end up in the cube or not, because if it's going to be $1 billion or whatever. But I do like seeing kind of what the chase, like when I get excited about cards, usually there'll be like one or two cards, like Gwenum is crazy. Like Bolas Citadel on a stick is insanity. It's already a card that when people play it in any capacity, I usually roll my eyes real hard. Whether it's cEDH and I'm like, all right, GG's, or if it's casual, and then I'm like, all right, GG's. You know, I will absolutely not pull punches if somebody casts that card. I'm just like, you're good. All right, tell us when we lose. Like, we're cool. We'll sit here. So like putting that on a body is insane. And there's a couple others. I like the camera, specifically because I like cards that go in the Saga board. So I learned that in other formats, there are other formats, and people play in like Legacy, people play a lot of Urza Sagas because it lets you just have a toolbox deck of, oh, I need any one of these 21 drops I can just shit out at any given time. So I like that camera like fits in there. Like that's crazy that it's just this wacky card that you can, it's like a wacky fake Strionic Resonator that you can sneak out with a Saga, or just set it up for later. Like, I think that's really cool. And yeah, there's a few others. Those are the standouts. But I really am looking to see what becomes like super like chase cards or staples or game-breaking cards. Another one that really, really caught my eye is Jackal, and I don't know anything about this character.
You got to read some Clone Saga.
Yeah, clearly. I suppose you pulled up the clone cover, and his face was on it, and I was like, oh, well, I guess that's what it's about.
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you about Miles Warren, my friend, because that is a hell of a character. Okay, before I get sidetracked on that, Clay, your thoughts overall about the set? Do you think that there are any standouts for Commander or Standard or Modern or any other formats?
I won't speak to the standard, the 60 card formats, since I don't play them and barely follow them. When I get online, I scroll past the deck lists that Fire Shoes posts that have trophied, and that is about the amount of exposure that I have to them. So I won't talk about them. I do think that for Commander, there are a bunch of, I would say, legends that I could see people enjoying building and getting to embrace them. The Miles Morales is funny. I have 80% of a deck that's nigh a stompy, but there are 20 potential commanders that I'm just going to roll a dice before each game to determine who is in charge. And it's got Samu, it's got Fabine, it's going to have Voha. It's just all of them, right? And then it's the same experience. Hey, who's in charge? Who's in the 99? But there's cards like I posted about it the other day, but Mr. Negative. And what's the other one? The
Spot.
Anti-Venom are two that I'm building these. I'm clearly I've got a lot of stress because I want to do sicko things with my commanders. But then the last one that I don't know if it gets built, but the flavor of it I really like is Sun Spider. And the nod to her usage of crutches or the wheelchair, and that when she comes in, you get to go find the equipment for it. I don't. It's just it should be a little nod to the fact that she has assistive equipment or technology. But yeah, I would say just top of my head, as far as just in general for the format, I don't know if there's going to be standouts. I think Electro is probably. I think it's right. And Spider-Punk are probably going to be the ones that, if any, make really big moves at Tournament EDH or different scenes. I think it's going to be those two are going to be the ones that are going to. And I don't know if it's in the 99 or at the head, but I think those are the ones that jumped out at me immediately. Oh, this is a lot.
Good. Yep. Steven, you wanted to add on?
I think those two definitely part of our original 50 if we want to identify.
2 and 3. If Spider-Man is number 1, and then
yes, yeah, for sure. Claybee, I have had a Lotho life swap deck for the past 3 years, and it's one of those moments where it's never had a commander. Lotho's a commander because it's a 2-mana drop that makes treasure, right? That's all it does, because I need to pay 8, 9, 10 mana to swap life totals because those cards are so expensive. My favorite thing that Wizards does is when it finally gives me the last puzzle piece of something I've been working on. And so when Mr. Negative came out, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And they've done it once before in Caverns. I've had a mono white landfall deck for years, and then they finally gave me Osier Tak, and I was like, my commander's a land. This is right. So that's what I really hope for, and the juice I really hope I get to squeeze out of a set is when they give me that final puzzle piece. So I'm glad you highlighted Mr. Negative, because my jaw dropped when I saw it. I was like, oh yeah, this is it. We're doing it, baby.
Speaking of that last puzzle piece, super stoked that we now have our 25th even mana value clone in Dimir colors. It's the Gyroot Apocalypse. I have been waiting for this. It is just one of those things that you know is going to happen eventually, and you wait for it and you wait for it. And there have been 2 characters in the 2 announced sets, one in Spider-Man and one in Avatar, that I was like, this is going to be it. One of these 2 has to be it. And Chameleon was revealed, and I was just like, yes, fantastic. Excellent. I have everything that I've been looking for now. Perfect. But apart from that one, I think standouts, Red is absolutely killing it in this set. We talked about Electro. We talked about Spider-Punk. J. Jonah Jameson as well. Incredible design. That had to be one of the original designs. And I tell you that had to be one of the first cards that they designed in this set, because it is so perfect for him as a character. It is just a perfect depiction of the character from the comics. No notes. Absolutely perfect. So again, I think Red's killing it in this set, and we're going to see some of these cards in a lot of formats. So I'm stoked for that. Before we move on to some of our other favorites, how about your favorite characters from the universes within or through the Omen Paths version of these cards as well? So somewhat controversially, Wizards does not have the digital rights to the Spider-Man properties. So when these cards come to Arena, we get a dollar store off-brand in-universe version of them. Though from what it seems like from online reception, people are loving these through the Omen Paths versions much more than the Spider-Man versions. What do we think, crew? Is this something that, hey, we could have had this in universe this entire time, and that would have been better? Or, are we liking a foot in each door here? What do we think? Clay, what are your thoughts?
I don't like. I think conceptually, I don't like the idea of having. It's not just like reskinned now. It's like a separate card, right? And I know it's just digital, but like there's just something about it conceptually that feels wrong, and it's a little unfortunate that so many of like the art on so many of these cards is really cool. There's a bunch of these characters and planes and nods that I'm like, I would love to have this for real. But my biggest thing, and I talked about it, is that there's something about their digital with the text and the stuff that makes them look so bad. And like I just, for the life of me, I can't, with all of the incredible design and art like vision that they have, that they're so like just jarringly like it's awkward. So that's really I like I said, I think that I haven't spent a lot of time looking at the Omen Paths cards, so I can't really like call out any of the specific ones. But in general, I do appreciate like it would have been worse to not have the cards, period. But like it's kind of an unfortunate like awkward thing.
Yeah, totally agreed. And I agree with the arena frame on these things. I think it does not do justice to all of the work that was put in on these cards and on these arts to put them in the arena frame like this. Kuro, your thoughts?
Yeah, they look, just looking at them on Scryfall, but like, yeah, they look like they're the online cards. So and maybe it's also like the way that the art and how the colors, like either it's my monitor or just how they upload. It's just like they kind of share like a similar hue like throughout all of them, just like in some way, shape, or form that like, yeah, this is like I know that this is not a Magic card that I printed out and used. You know what I mean? Like I feel as though in my hands it will look way more vibrant than it does. Vorthos, there's no flavor text on these.
Yep.
So as much as I like the art, I like being able to revisit planes. I do get the idea of basically making this a core set where you are just getting bits and bobs from different places throughout the Omen Paths and everything. But one, it's not returning to legendary creatures that we know. You know what I mean? It's just like a straight introduction of like, here's a spider lady who's part of the Rakdos cult. And you're like, What?
Yeah. Have we ever
What?
seen this before?
No, like no, and there's no flavor text, so that we can kind of like get that vibe and everything like that. Or at least like it just doesn't show up on the front. Yeah, like. Oh, I didn't know that there were spider human heroes on Ravnica. That's wild. So I do like the art. I like the concept of it, but the execution is just like not hitting for me yet.
Yeah. Cop, your thoughts?
When they dropped the set and I was scrolling through all the cards too, I don't play a lot of Arena, so I do agree with you. The text, like the graphic design of the text on the cards is very weird to me. It feels like a cartoon. But I do think that like this feels what I wanted Aether Drift to feel like. If we're going to navigate a set that's going through multiple planes, I want to be rewarded for the nod and the knowledge and the reference. And like when you see like supportive parents and it's like, that's Strixhaven, oh my gosh, like that's beautiful. Like when I see those references, I really feel like as a Vorthos Magic person who's been playing this game for a long time, it's like, wow, that reference, that nostalgia is what I wanted Aether Drift to be and was severely disappointed by it. I do want to know everything about the Ur Spider. I don't care that whoever this character is, give me all the information because I think it's the weirdest, dumbest, amazing creature ever made. Like it's this all-knowing spider. But what this also reminds me of too, though, is that I think Brendan Lee Mulligan talks about it when he talks about living in New York City, and it's something I reference when I D&D my Ravnica campaign, is that in a set like this Omen Path experience, you can screenshot any moment from any plane, and it's probably happening somewhere. Like somewhere in New York City, some random thing is happening. Probably. We don't know where or who, but it's happening. And I think that is sort of the beautiful part of the reference and a little bit of the lazy part is that I can put any piece of art and any character from any plane on a card and it's probably going to happen, or it's probably happening somewhere. And is that deep enough for me, right? Like, so I'm interested to see where it goes for sure, but that's my first impression.
Fantastic. Alan, your thoughts on the Through the Omen Paths versions of these cards?
I have a long-standing beef with universes within. They are confusing and dumb. No, it's mostly due to me playing Spell Table, and Spell Table, literally when you click on the Dalsum card, it brings up Tydeus, whatever his dumb name is. And that makes me mad because I have a Dalsum card and I love the Dalsum card and I don't like the other card. It also, I mean, the thing is, there's not going to be the universes within problem of not recognizing cards immediately. So that's like okay, but like I do the cEDH coverage, and I go and every time a tournament starts, first round, I go and I look at every commander on the table and see what people are playing. And when people are playing the universes within Stranger Things cards, every time without fail, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And it's just like, oh, you're playing, this is a cute name for the deck. I don't remember. It's like Friends Forever or some goblin.
Yeah,
joke.
Friends Forever.
But that's the mechanic. The deck has like a funny name also. But it's every time I'm just like, what are those? Oh, right. And then I look like a doofus for not recognizing like these cEDH staple cards, right? So I don't like that. I think the like tease for Lorthos people is massive. I think that is cool that it creates this. I want to know more, and I think specifically because there's no more information, it makes it that much more appealing. Like the one tiny little character you find referenced in the book that you never ever hear anything else about, and you're like, what was that about? So I do like that it kind of tickles that for people, but like, I don't know. Arena only cards are weird, and the set symbol looks like a Cardforge set symbol. It looks like a fake Magic card set symbol.
Agreed. It looks like somebody's homebrew
Yeah.
proxy at home.
It might as well be
Definitely
that
agreed.
little hammer.
Just very quickly for the folks joining us from this raid, welcome. We're talking Spider-Man. You've joined at a great time because in about a half hour, we're going to be doing a draw for some prizes. If you hit Command Donate in chat and donate to support the Trevor Project in $5 increments, you'll be entered to win an Infinitokens prize pack, a Spider-Man bundle, and if we reach our goal of $250, we'll be giving away a second Spider-Man bundle as well. So if you donate, you can get in on that now. Welcome, Raiders. I personally have an issue with the Through the Omen Pass versions of these cards because this establishes that there are heroes and villains on established planes. This makes me wonder if they're going to go back and they're going to errata villains and heroes throughout the years to put every legendary creature as a hero or villain, if that's going to be the case. But this establishes that on planes that we know, like Innistrad, there are villains. On planes that we know, like Ravnica, there are heroes. Why have we not seen that before? Is this not something that has ever mattered before, or will it ever matter in the future?
God, I hope not. Holy shit. Oh my God. I hope not. I really hope not. My lord.
Yeah. Kuro, you had something to add.
It'll be quick. The symbiote thing, like part of like what makes the Omen Path thing weird is like they have to like put these creature types in, but make them magic, like the hero thing or the villain thing, and just explain it away. The symbiote style thing, I don't like the look. I ain't about it. I don't like the weird like shell, black creature shell that's going on them. It doesn't vibe with me. No.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Alan, you had something to add.
When you said, so it really struck, everybody here was like, whoa, about the, like, back, what do you call it? When you go back and fix something.
Errata.
Yeah, I think it really struck me because isn't, like, defining characters, and I guess it's different when you're defining characters specifically as heroes and villains, because to me, what it immediately set off red flags because of the Hasbro and D&D initiative of, like, I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but the assigning morality and assigning like alignments to races and stuff like that. So to me, it starts to encroach on that territory, and it's like, you might be a little tough one there. there might be some, because the D&D one had so much emotion behind it from so many people, so I feel like there is the potential to leak into that sort of thing, but it's also like, I don't know, it's cool. And yeah, somebody was saying Infinitokens hero was a creature type like way back, I guess, as well. So it's like, sure, heroes and villains, why not? Like, and if you're gonna errata some of them, sure, I'm not mad. Like, but if they make Jace a hero, then I'm gonna sell all my cards, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the only way.
It would very easily be able to tell us whether a character is having their villain arc or not, right?
It's just Liliana villain, but like flip over Planeswalker, Liliana hero. It's like, oh, okay.
Exactly. Imagine that. You can get the entire redemptive arc on a single card, right? I just, again, I think that my biggest ick about this whole thing is there are now heroes and villains on planes that we've been on before. Will we see them again? Will we see them retroactive? Who knows? But we have seen cards that received arena-only printings in the past, like Rusko the Clockmaker, receive paper printings in mystery boosters.
Wait,
very
what?
clearly some strong feelings about that, or
I cannot believe that it's not bad enough that he lives in my computer and tortures me endlessly every time I boot up Arena. The fact that they made him paper, they made him real. I've never seen him in paper. It hasn't actually happened. But the fact that it could, ooh,
Oh yeah.
stay in the computer.
Yeah.
I don't like
love it.
Conjure. I don't like Conjure.
No, but this does show us that potentially in the future we could get paper printings of through the Omen Pass version of the Spider-Man cards.
Right.
The door is open for this. So if
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
if Hasbro and Wizards ever loses the right to reprint these, or their partnership with Marvel and Disney ends, there are in-universe versions that they could very realistically print in paper.
Yeah.
Clay, you want to finish your thought?
I'm sorry. I was typing in so that I just didn't think to raise the hand. But I think that actually the idea of the in paper, if they can't put the name for the corresponding Spider-Man card in the way that we've had the reskin cards before, I think that makes it. I think it makes the issue like 100 times worse and more complicated if they can't put that there to clearly denote like that it's the Spider-Man card. But like, and I don't know if they can. So I don't know how they get around that if they ever do try printing them in paper.
Yeah, it'd be the same way that they handled the Walking Dead paper prints of these, or like Alan mentioned, the Street Fighter versions of these, where they don't put the alternate name under. They just have the same set number as the cards themselves.
Yeah.
Right, Alan, your thoughts on this?
It's so tough. I love the idea of them like there are so many spaces for Wizards to put them into product as a thing. Like there are like whether it's more mystery boosters, whether it's special stuff, whether it's special guest stuff in another random set, like, you know, if they have a whole new Innistrad set and then they like in the special guest slot sneak in one of the ones that's on Innistrad or whatever, like I like that as an idea. And then it creates like, instead of like oh, I'm mad that there's a fake spider card, it's like like this thing happened that is like, you know, makes sense and is flavorful. Or it could be as something as simple as this secret layer or something stupid like that. For, you know, people went so nuts for Blem, so maybe Wizards is gonna be like, all right, let's make some Blem money, like, or whatever this fucking thing's name is.
Fleam, is that the one?
Yeah.
Fleam.
So they're like, all right, well, let's make some Fleam money. We're gonna just print this thing, like it's free real estate.
Yeah, exactly.
And there it is.
Like, why are you not making money off this?
Right.
People want it. So yeah, I think that there's a very fun space for them in physical cards, but it is not a set. It is not, and a secret layer is gonna be extremely polarizing.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Steven, your thoughts?
I'm indifferent. If they want to print them and they can, great. If they don't. There are people I know who do want physical printings of through the Omen Pass cards and are making as best quality proxies as they can of them because they don't want to run, say, Spider-Gwen. They want to run the Omen Path version, and I'm like, yeah, love that. Live your life, you know. I fundamentally do agree with the Rusco situation. Please don't bring arena only cards into the world. Those things are absolutely bonkers. And I watch Amy the Amazonian enough to know that like Pac is a disaster of a card and should never ever have existed. But here we are. I don't play arena, but I get to watch other people suffer about it, and I'm like, never again. Do not put that in my world. But if they want to do it, do it. I don't know. I'm very indifferent on it.
Gotcha. Kuro, what do you think about maybe potentially bringing these arena cards into paper one day?
That's definitely like the like 1-2 punch of like why they made them on arena and with this art is definitely so that they can bring them in.
Gesundheit.
And I realize that's also probably why they just named some like random people to be these. So it's not like there's not a version of Thalia who is actually Peter Parker, and then on the backside it's, you know, Thalia super spider lady. it's just Saurus. Okay, so that is why they did it, and now they are able to reprint them if they so need to do so. I will hate it when they do, because Spelltable and Scryfall and every website will change to the new printing, and I'm going to keep clicking on it going like, this is Peter Parker, give me that, because we all know that that's Peter Parker, but it's going to give me Saurus, whoever that is. So yeah, it is what it is. It's a proper business decision.
All right. No, totally fair. I think that they are future proofing themselves with this as well. So we'll see. We'll see if they ever do a Through the Omen Paths version of this in paper. If they need to reprint it, 5-10 years down the road, or if we ever see these in Masters packs in 5-10 years, some reprint set. We might see anything that's a standout in Modern or was in Standard or in Commander reprinted as the Through the Omen Pass version in some kind of reprint set. Correct.
I need flavor text though. Like I need them not having flavor text, so we just have to go off the art is not good. It is an incomplete Magic card, so it needs to have flavor text with it.
Totally agreed. So next up, some of our favorites. I want to talk our favorite cards, our favorite arts, our favorite characters here. First up, did your favorite character from Spider-Man and Spider-Man's lore get a card in the set, and how do you feel about it? Is it a good representation? Was it a poor representation? Are you lamenting poor Rhino getting a terrible uncommon in the set? Cop. Let's start with you. Did your favorite character get a card?
So my favorite character is the Spot. I love him. I adore him. I think he's like weird and wacky and like opens you up to a lot of strange meta conversations. And seeing his design deal with the bottom of the library, I think is a space that's extremely unexplored and is one of the most inaccessible places in the game and in the design concept. So for him to be able to pocket a card or go there and be completely inaccessible, I thought was very smart. I don't know how to use it. I don't know if I'll be building it because I can't access it. So like, congratulations. But super cool design space. On the opposite side, since we talked about it at the start of the panel, Superior Spider-Man's card, I do not agree with at all. I think like exiling it from a grave, like what is it? You enter as a copy of a creature from the graveyard, except it's a thing, right? The problem is in that story, they swap consciousness. They don't swap, like, it's not a body thing, right? So like in the world in which we just had Deadpool swap text boxes, right? Like we do exist in a design space where the consciousness or existence of a card can be exchanged. And that is the true spine of that story. And also, we follow Peter Parker as a ghost. So where's the 1/1 spirit token named Peter Parker when Superior Spider-Man comes back alive? Like, that's the other part of it I'm missing. It's like there's a lot of juice that we didn't squeeze.
Totally agreed. By the way, on the Spot, the Spot is responsible for one of my favorite comic panels of all time. And it is the panel where Peter is punching himself in the face, trying to punch the Spot. It is hands down one of my favorite comic panels of all times. I think that is peak comic book.
I believe it's Comeuppance now. Is that the?
Yes, it is the Comeuppance.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
yeah. The new Comeuppance reskin is that panel, but it is hands down my favorite. Kuro, how about you? Did your favorite character get a good representation in the set?
Iron Spider, yes. But that's more of an outfit, not a character. My favorite character is actually Penny Parker, who we got Spider piloted by Penny, and she was revealed early. So I thought that we would like see like a rare version of her, like we were with all the recent sets, and then I was disappointed when we didn't. So as far as my favorite character, did she get a card? Yes, technically. Is she really strong? Yeah, that's a cool ability. That's a really, really cool ability. So I am happy about that. But I was hoping for a Penny Parker maybe tutors up a suit of armor that's spider, something like that. I was hoping for a rare version instead of just uncommon, but this is still very good. I'm still happy about this.
I was kind of surprised to not see this get a little bit more of a spotlight or get a higher rarity, especially because it is a character from Marvel Rivals as well. And you'd think the cross promotion from that would account for this being a little bit more in the spotlight. I also do really like the Iron Spider that we got. I think that it is a fantastic artifact deck commander. If you're looking at brewing something colorless, that is the new goat from here on out. Totally stoked for it. Alan, did your favorite character get a printing?
You're muted.
Oh no, Alan, you're muted.
Sorry, that's my bad.
No,
you can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they did the Superior Spider-Man, and they like Cop said, it was meh. You know, I was like, sure, he's in there, yay. But I wanted to ask Kuro, what did you what was your reaction when the Iron Spider was a character and not an equipment?
It was fine. I was okay with that because like now I can just use it like just better as a commander.
You're like even better. I can always look at it.
Yeah, it was even better because now I don't have to have it relegated to an equipment deck or something like that. It's
awesome,
good card. Yeah.
And for me, like, it's hard to like pick like a Spider-Man character that I'm like, yes, all in on this character, because I've always been more like kind of circling around Spider-Man with the New York City anti-hero, Shadowland stuff, all that. So like it's hard to say that, but I'm surprised that we didn't see like more of the null and symbiote stuff, like to have like so many symbiote cards and not have your like big 8 mana black 4 pips like null or the sword, the whatever that thing is called. Like either of those would have been like, all right, I'm good. I've got a card I can chase now. But it's not there, and I thought that seemed like it's a Venom thing. It's a Venom story. It's a Venom crossover. It's a Venom storyline. It feels like a missed opportunity for the like big black demon card.
I would not be surprised if we see that sometime in the future. We see a null in an Avengers set or something that is larger scale.
Yeah, cosmic maybe.
Yeah, exactly. If we end up with a cosmic Marvel set, null's definitely in there. I do like the Skithrix reskin that we saw of the Venom King in Black storyline there too. I think that's a fair representation, as close as we're getting to null in this set at least. Clay, did your favorite character get a representation?
Yes, and I'm really excited to finally get to say it's Morbin time when I sit down with the pod. No, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. So like I'd already talked about Mr. Negative. Like that character is super cool to me, that concept, and so like the depiction, awesome. I really, really like that. And then for the Spider's Men's, I like a fool, I scrolled away from it, and then now this is just from the Spider-Verse, but the Spider Noir is that character was hilarious to me. Speaking, we were talking about Nicolas Cage earlier in the chat, but that card's sick, and like a mono black surveilling as the creature grows, and like that's a cool, powerful effect, but not in like too overpowered. I like that it's monocolored. That could really be a cool deck that does something very flavorful for its color scheme, but also like it's noir. It's a black, like, you know what I mean? Like I like it.
Yeah, awesome. Kuro?
I just want to give props to Spider-Man Noir. Like that is a card that I believe like was in the original 54 for sure. And I think they probably just kept the exact same abilities. Like this is a commander card that does something really unique within Magic, no matter if it's powerful or not. there's no other card that will be like Spider-Man Noir. So if you build that deck, you're like, this is my Spider-Man Noir deck, and like I'm getting happy based off of it. Like no notes on him. Honestly, I think that's a wonderful choice.
Yeah, I'm personally a big fan of Spider-Man's villains. I absolutely love his rogues gallery. With Doc Ock being my favorite of them, I'm not super thrilled by any of Doc Ock's cards. We'll see. The whole villain typal matters version is one that we're likely going to see become better and better over time, which is going to be cool. But none of them cost 8, which I think is a flavor fail on their own there. I would have loved to have seen this get a little bit more love here, though. One of my favorite supporting players, J. Jonah Jameson, got to the T perfect of a card, so could not be happier about that one. I love him as such a hypocrite blowhard. My absolute favorite. Kaka.
I just wanted to follow up on the doesn't have 8 like CMC or whatever. Like when I saw Return of the Sinister Six and I was like, choose 6 creatures to bring back from your graveyard. I was like, that's amazing. Cost 7. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, it costs 7 because if it costs 6 to get 6 creatures, that's insanely powerful, and we're not going to do that. But it's like every moment is like just left of center to be like right on the bullseye. So yeah, 6 out of black.
Yeah, it really seems like these were tuned out of the most flavorful versions of themselves. And a lot of these cards, like the core that we can see, were like, okay, this was first design, knocked it out of the park, did not change through all of development. And then we have these ones that are like, okay, let's add a mana to the Sinister Six card that costs 6 mana, that are just like, let's nudge it just out of perfect, right? And, as fans, we can see that. I'm sure as people that, aren't as deep as fans or are looking more at just the mechanical side of these things can appreciate it a bit more. But somebody who does know the background to these cards and is as invested as we are sees it as a slight. Clay, your thoughts?
I will say when Doc Ock was previewed, it like brought up this core memory that I had not thought about for a very long time, that when Spider-Man 2 came out, I can't remember if it was right before it or right after it, my family got a chance to see Fiddler on the Roof on Broadway, and Alfred Molina plays Tevye, and I don't, teenage preteen me, whatever, was struggling so hard with juxtaposing Doc Ock and Tevye. It was the same human being, was just so difficult, and so just like I don't understand it. So every time I'm like part, I just have that memory ping back again, and just like, hey, you remember that time?
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, everybody out there in chat, I want to give you a 15-minute warning on this. We are going to wrap up very shortly. We've got another question, and then we're going to head into Q&A, but it's your last chance to hit Command Donate in chat and donate in $5 increments to support the Trevor Project. We are very close to our goal, about $60 away. Right now, we'll be giving away an Infinite Tokens prize pack and a Spider-Man bundle. If we can hit that 250 mark, we will give away a second Spider-Man bundle. So if you can get us there by the end of today's session, then your chances of winning have increased. So give that a donate now. And if you do have any questions for the panel, redeem the highlight your question Q&A in right now, and we'll answer your questions right after this. So for the panel, last of my questions, we have tons of fantastic art in this set, whether it be original art, whether it be some of our favorite panels that are on reprints of cards here. I want to do speed mode here and say, what are your favorite arts in the set, whether it be comic panel arts, whether it be comic cover arts, whether it be original art for the set. What are your favorites? Alan, hit me.
I don't even care that the art on them isn't that good. The fact that they made the cards that go together and make the 9-panel grid is so important to me. I'll run. I gotta show you guys, right? So like, I collected.
I'm just glad he has
Marvel. What happened? I collected Marvel books, Marvel cards forever and ever and ever, and like have these framed like 9-panel pages. Like it's a core part of my relationship with Spider-Man, with Marvel, with all of this collecting. So to see them do that, and then I don't know, because the Lord of the Rings ones, you could buy them and they were all in the set together. Did they do that with these, or are they only available in packs that you have to like collect? Because I didn't buy the Lord of the Rings ones because they were all together already, and I was like, that's stupid. So if you can like collect them, I might like actually go into that. And they've been doing it with other sets. They did it with Assassin's Creed, and they've done it with the Lord of the Rings and all that. But I think it's extremely important that they did it with the Marvel cards, because of there were Spider-Man sets specifically that did that, but I want to say it was Marvel Series 3 and 4 that did it originally, and they really, there you go. So they are scene box. They're not in. They're. I looked it up today. So in preparation for this, I was like, let me look at the drop rates for all the cards, and I looked out the booster fun breakdowns, and they didn't have any actual like one in however many packs, but they're. I think you can get the scene cards in like across all packs, so that's good.
Nice.
Fantastic. But if you want the foil versions, it's gonna be the collector boosters.
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna have to end up with those pages at some point, like to go on the wall back there, because that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, they are incredible. I know a lot of folks that did the collecting of like the monster manual printings from the D&D sets as well, grabbing those too. I think that there are a lot of treatments here in this set that can appeal to a wide variety of collectors, whether it be the scene cards, whether it be the web frame cards, whether it be the comic cover cards. There's a lot of opportunities here for somebody to find a favorite. Cop, how about your favorite art in the set?
The sagas. Like, I'm just gonna, like, especially the alternate art sagas that literally feel like panel by panel I'm going through a comic book. And I think, like, not only are they just visually beautiful, but they also tell the best story in the set. And I don't know who at Wizards is working in the saga space, but Final Fantasy, the summons being sagas, and now the comic book panels being sagas, it's clear that like this design, this card concept is so versatile and malleable. It feels like Play-Doh. Haha, Secret Lair, we just got Play-Doh. But it feels like it's so like interesting in storytelling, and I want them to explore that more with other like look at that. That is like literally a comic book on a card. That's so cool. Like
I think this is the most one-to-one translation of a saga to our modern real life here.
Yeah.
I as a huge comic book fan, I've said that comic books are akin to our fables and fairy tales of modern era. So looking at the translation of Theros and ancient Greek stories to sagas is one thing, but looking at it as this is a saga that we grew up with that is now on a card in a comic panel in the format that we read it for the first time just resonates so well. It hits so right. I think that it is chef's kiss. Fantastic.
I want to interject really quick and just say it's so many people are always like, oh, that doesn't look like a Magic card. And this is one of the first times, I'm saying in general, people say that, right? This is one of the first times that they nailed this so hard that when I saw it, I thought that doesn't look like a Magic card. That looks like a comic book panel. And it threw me mentally because it looked so much like a comic book panel. So like there is a problem with that, like as far as parsing it as a Magic card. But I do think that as a execution of the design, it could not be more like spot on.
Absolutely. Kuro, how about some of your favorite arts in the set?
Iron Spider, Civil Warrior, the new art for Alibu, Ancient Witness, hands down, because it's the cover. It's the literal cover. It's the actual cover. And I was just like, oh, it's the only card I need to have. It's the only card I need to have. I could walk away from the whole set with just this and Penny Parker, and I'm good. It's that. Yeah, it's just that. Oh, Civil Warrior too. Oh my gosh, you. Oh, well, the title, they knew what they were doing. Oh my god. Yeah, it's like hands down is that one. Everything else is like cool. It's this one. That's just it.
Awesome. Clay, your favorite arts in the set?
There's some that are cool. I agree with like the borderless panels and stuff. Weird call, but the normal basics for this set with the Spider-Man out in the environment is super reminiscent for me for the Titus Lunter Ixalan Jace lands, or you also had the one with the weather like that idea of showing the same person like out in the environment is just like I'm a full art basic person.
Are you talking about male loneliness epidemic Jace lens?
Yeah, like those ones. There's also the one of like it's like what is it, the weather light that's like exploring the different places.
For Brotherhood, I think, right?
Yeah.
And like those, like that kind of motif of having like 5 lands that all share such a strong like running thing is really cool to me. So like getting another one, like another set of 5 is awesome.
Yeah. Steven, your thoughts?
I will say, fun fact, as a New Yorker, there are a lot of laws and legalities around actually depicting New York City in its like truest form. And so these cards are amazing, but if you actually like zoom in and look, that is not the Brooklyn Bridge, but we scan it and identify it as Brooklyn Bridge because of the arc of the wire and the 2 columns, but it's not the actual architecture. And I love that because it's also in the
that's the Manhattan Bridge.
Oh, okay. Well, but if you go to like vibrant cityscape, for instance, it's like not exactly the thing. There's a lot of these weird things around actually depicting New York, and I think it's beautiful and funny at the same time. Like, yeah.
Are you telling me that the swamp is not your typical New York alleyway? Because I think it is.
It's not. I can go show you one though.
Yeah,
It's fine.
sure.
Follow me, chat. Follow me. Let's go.
We just get like a blue sky update from Capcom. It's just like, oh my god, it's the exact guy.
I'm in the alley.
Dan Curls, right?
He's literally here right now. Look, there's Spider-Man in the alley.
I'm pretty sure I lived in that apartment building in Midwood. Like, yes.
Oh, fantastic. Personally, my favorite arts are the cover arts, the classic cover arts. I absolutely love that they took arts like this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Which hangs over my shoulder every day, all day long, and turn that into a Magic card. It is the perfect confluence of my loves. So seeing that is just excellent. I have to collect all of those because I have some of the other classic Spider-Man covers back here as well, like Spider-Man No More, which got a printing on a card too.
Yeah.
All absolutely incredible. And if Alan's collecting the scene cards, I am collecting the I am collecting the cover cards, the art cover cards.
And Iron Spider. Please.
You want me to rip the shirt with that flex? Yeah. Fantastic. Well, folks, we are just about to wrap up. I will give you your last warning for donations, folks. We're going to get into our questions. We've got a couple here as well before we get in. So first with our Q&A, Alan, you had mentioned before we were going live some of the getting people into collecting cards through some of these magic treatments. Did you
yeah, sorry. I just you had mentioned like the art of the cards and how I was going through, and I talked about how I went through the like pack breakdowns, the pull rates and stuff like that. And something I've been getting into a little bit, I haven't gone full like into the world of contemporary Marvel card collecting because it's nightmarishly massive and expensive. But I had some friends who work with like Tops, and they brought out some cards, or Upper Deck, and they brought out some cards, and we poked through them, and I got to see what they're doing. And like, it sounds so crazy, but like, my first thought is, wow, they're doing some pretty crazy stuff in the world of Marvel cards. Like, and it's because they are. Like, I opened up. He brought me these packs of Ghost Rider cards that were like super thick. They were like cardstock, like heavy cardstock. And one of them was called a Cracks in the Tombstone rare that had perforations on the back that you could open up, and there was a smaller fucking foil card inside of it.
Sorry, what?
Yes.
That's a McDonald's toy. That's
And I was like,
Yeah.
this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And so like, once I saw those, I was like, okay, like clearly there's so much space for what they could do with chase cards in this world. And unfortunately, because they have to be game pieces as well, there's not as much space. You can't print a OG hologram on one of these cards. Ristic Studies went over why. Like, you can't do it. So like, there's a lot of stuff that they're unable to do, but a lot of stuff that I see that they're starting to pick up on, like the serialization of cards. And when it comes to stuff like that, we're getting lucky. I'll say it, that people don't like serialized cards. We are lucky with what they're doing, because it could be there could be 10 different versions of that Spider-Man heroic intervention with a different background color on each one and different rarity rates for each background color. Right. That's what we could be dealing with. So like, we're getting off pretty lucky, and I'm excited to see where else they take it. One of my favorite things about collecting Marvel cards is sketch cards are included in packs now. You can open up an original piece of art by a comic book artist in a Marvel pack. If you could open up playable, sketched on game pieces, it would break collecting. So yeah, that's where my head is at with all of this. I think that they are starting to find really, really good parallels with that box breaking and collector culture, and with some of the stuff that like sparked joy within me. But the spaces, so like, you can open sports cards with little pieces of like Michael Jordan's jersey in them and shit like that. Like the spaces that there are available within collecting are so untapped in Magic right now, and I'm excited to see what they're doing with it. So that's what I wanted
Fantastic.
to say.
Yeah. Yeah, it blew my mind with the thought of the ability to open up an artist proof in a pack of Magic. Can you imagine?
A sketch. I opened up one of the I got it. I like sent it off with Beckett that day, but like, I opened up this
Whoa.
Oh wow.
That's
Wow,
I don't
Magic.
even know who the fuck
Magic.
it is.
Magic.
Ileana?
Magic?
Rasputin?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like signed and like an original like sketch right on this, and I pulled that out of a pack, you know. So like, imagine if you were able to pull out a Magic card with a blank art space that the artist drew on, and it was the printed card.
That'd be
Wow.
sick.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
And it was one of one. Done.
Wild.
Blew my mind on that one. That's something for me to think about. We've got one more question before we get to our outros and our winners. Joel in chat asked, was there any character that you wanted to see in the set that did not show up in the set? I'll start off by saying I wish we saw Kingpin in the set, though we're probably going to do some more street level Marvel stuff in the future. We're going to see Luke Cage. We're going to see Daredevil. We're going to see Punisher in a set in the future. That's going to be where Kingpin's going to live, but would have loved to have seen him here too. Kuro, any characters that didn't show up that you wanted to?
I would have liked to see the alternate future, or I guess present, that we would be in if Aftermath sets weren't a thing from the beginning. so we could see like what that full like 300 card set would be, and like what those other characters would have looked like. So the mythics and rares and uncommon versions of all of these cards, there would be some overlap, or at least more overlap than there is for sure. So I'm just gonna say the mythic version of Penny Parker is missing, and that's honestly wild. Like, that's crazy, but that version drawn by Gerard Way, that's
Oh,
that's
yeah, perfect.
what I want.
Awesome. Cop, your character that might not have made the first set.
I had to think about this one just now and literally Google it to make sure, but I was like, there's no Harry. Where's Harry Osborn? Like, we get...
There is
No.
Green Goblin Revenant is...
Yes, but that's not Harry Osborn. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I need a
You're
Harry
saying
Osborn
Harry
card.
Osborn. Okay.
I know that there's a Green Goblin Revenant, but I'm like, if we have Flash and we have the human versions of so many of these people, and we have the man in the chair, where is Harry?
True.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
All right.
The disrespect is real.
I know. Shade.
Clay, any characters that you wish you saw in the set that didn't get a printing?
I didn't have any, and then Alan said that mentioned Ghost Rider, and I was like, I want Ghost Rider. That's all I'm thinking about right now. I've moved on from Spider-Man.
So has Wizards.
Wow.
Kuro, sorry, amendments.
Sorry if I'm going to take this from you, Alan. No Uncle Ben card. What? What? Excuse me?
Because it goes
What?
immediately to the graveyard.
Nah, they needed that spirit token. They
Let
missed it.
me
They needed at least the spirit
explore
token.
Magic by having like a 0/1 Uncle Ben that just like target creature gets indestructible, sacrifice or something. Like, just let me explore Magic with this card, Uncle Ben.
It should have the flag bearer ability. If a player casts a spell that could target this creature, it targets this creature.
Yeah, and shock is just a gun.
Yeah. Perfect. Alan, any cards or any characters rather that didn't make the set that you wish made the set?
Yeah, I think just Null is really like exploring that, and because he's such a big bad and so tied in with the Spider-Verse, I guess. So Null definitely, and then when I got comic books, they were usually Ghost Rider books, and I had a crazy book that was like, I think it was like a Ghost Rider, Venom, and Wolverine team up or some nonsense.
Ooh.
And just like, yeah, that whole like anti-hero vibe is missing. But I'm sure, like you said, I'm sure we'll see the street level, that Shadowland saga or whatever it happens to be eventually.
Yeah. That arc is the Pact of something arc, because they recently redid it with Red Hulk, Ghost Rider, Laura Kinney, Wolverine, and someone else. And Flash Thompson, Venom. But it is the Pact of something of the Pact. Tickling something back in my brain. But folks, this brings us to the end of our roundtable. I want to give everybody a chance to remind everyone who you are and where you can be found before we announce our draw winners. Stick around, everybody, because we will be rating our friend Grem over at Grem Corp, and we will be announcing the draw winner in just a moment. But Steven, Cop, thank you so much for joining us for your first roundtable. Why don't you remind us who you are and where we can find you?
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. This has been an absolute blast. I love talking shop. And my name's Cop Chat. Hi, you can find me on the internet. That's K0PP. If you do it twice, it should be the first one that comes up. I'm a content creator. I'm an EDH and cEDH commentator. I am a stream host. I am a personality. There's a lot of things. I'm also a cosplayer. So you will see me at MagicCon Atlanta. I will be in the suit for most of the weekend. So please come and say hi. You'll find me in Creator Central. I was also just at Commander Sealed in Rochester. So, but I'm excited for Atlanta. I'm excited to see what unfolds. And this has been an absolute blast. Thank you all for having me.
Amazing. Thanks for coming out. We'll definitely be able to have you on one in the future as well. Alan, I want to thank you for coming out to another roundtable too. Let's remind everybody who you are and where we can find you.
Thank you so much for having me again. It's been an absolute treat to come in here and talk about It's been an absolute pleasure to come in here and talk about Spider-Man and yeah, be a little unfiltered about it. It's been an absolute blast. You can find me anywhere. You can write the words Mental Misplay. You can catch me coming up at MagicCon Atlanta, or honestly, I'll be in here live tomorrow night with none other than Eric Number Knower and Mia and Beezy. We're going to be playing Commander live at that table right over there.
Nice.
So yeah, we're doing it.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Kuro, wanted to thank you for coming out once again. Why don't you remind everybody who you are and where we can find you?
Yeah, glad to be back. Yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/Kurohitsuki, also playing Commander games and all that cool stuff. I think the arena thing is tomorrow or next week. I don't know. But regardless, you can find me online on all the places at Kurohitsuki, and definitely hit me up with your Marvel hot takes. Tell me if you like this set, because I'd like to know. I'd like to know who does.
If anyone does.
Yeah.
Perfect. And Clay, my partner, as always, thank you for joining us once again for this roundtable. Let's remind everybody who you are and where we can find you.
Hi friends, I'm Claybee. I'm one half of the C&C Power Hour, the one that you always see and hear for these roundtables that we get to put on. Thank you everybody in chat. Thanks to everybody coming on. This has been a blast. And I'm you can find me anywhere on the internet if you look for Claybee. But I'm not really doing anything right now. I'm the human personification of the Spider-Man card School Days. And so I'm existing. Go say hi.
Fantastic. Well, thanks everybody once again for coming out. Thank you everybody out there in the audience. Thanks everybody who donated to support the Trevor Project. I, as always, am your moderator, Chris. I am your commander mechanic. And I wanted to congratulate our winners for the Infinitokens prize pack. Our winner for tonight is Jeff Pearson. Congratulations, Jeff. And the winner of the Spider-Man bundle is Crab Baskets. Congratulations, Crab Baskets, who just called me the worst in chat. So there is enough time to take that back. Congratulations, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for coming out and donating. I want to remind everybody that the Avatar, The Last Airbender Roundtable will be November 11th, so stick around for that. You'll see official announcements and cast lineups from us soon. Looking forward to seeing everybody in Atlanta. Go and raid our friends, or go with our raid to our friend Grem at Grem Corp. Stick around, folks, and until next time, take care. Good night, good luck, and have fun.